Got brass in a pocket. I'm gonna have it. Intention. Later me. I'm gonna make you notice. Hello, everyone out there in TV land. Pre-recorded live before a studio audience of my stuffed animals from our Boston studios, which is down the street from the corner. We get the comics talk with Reverend, Sully, and the gang. That's this gang and yous guys. That's right. Wicked Pissa. A little bit of tactical and practical spirituality built into every episode from your favorite non-denominational, non-aligned, independent spiritual guy. I became an independent, an ordained minister on an internet ordination 26 years ago, and I had a spiritual awakening, and I went with it. And it's made a huge impact in my life. And so if you suffer from panic and anxiety, I do. I was diagnosed with PTSD and by a doctor in December of 2020 after yet another adverse life situation. The death of a friend. Seriously, he dropped dead. My co-worker, co-chef, best work friend drops dead from a heart attack in the middle of lunch. The bastard! God love you. To Scotty, who had listened to me for hours on end explain about Spider-Man, the X-Men, Superman, Batman, what's going on? What's up with this one? There's a movie coming out. That happened 5 years ago almost. It was literally 4 years ago, just a couple of months ago. But, just time marches on. So, I offer spirituality advices. Gratitude lists really help. And I'm grateful for you. I'm blessed and grateful for, everyone and anyone that tunes in to the show about our hobby. Yes, I'm a nerd. I'm a geek. Well, nerds and geeks are two different things. Nerds are book smartish people who, who may not attach themselves to pop culture and science fiction stories. That would be a geek. But still, there's the Venn diagram of life where there is overlap for me and perhaps for you. You too. It's New Comic Book Day. It's Wednesday. We do the show twice a week. I do a live stream on Sundays reviewing all the new comic books that I bought today. Floppies, the periodical publication, the serialized aspect of these long form, usually superhero stories. Superhero stories are great. They're a modern mythology of fantastic powers and ridiculous situations and of superhuman problem solving. Yet at the core contains story, act structure, heroes, villains, loss, pathos, and escapism. So I'm big into escapism. I'm, who wants to be reminded of work all the time? Who wants to be reminded of politics all the time? And damn those people who insist that it has to be an active ingredient in everything for this elusive and non-existent modern audience. I defy you. I defy you. Peacefully. This is true. It's new release day. It's Wednesday. So hopefully, this is us right now. Hello. I am at my local comic book shop, my LCS. That's right. I wonder what they would think if they knew I wore this. Do I care? No, not really. I keep it to myself. I wear it every time I go, but I keep it underneath the jacket. I don't wear it out loud. I keep it to myself. It's my own secret kind of code thing. You know, same creator, same thing, same situation. I live in a blue state, in a blue city, and my comic book shop is definitely blue, queer-friendly, progressive, modern, and I love it. I love them. My local comic book shop is a independent bookstore. It's a mom and pop brick and mortar American dream shop. And I spend my money there. I not only get my new releases there, I make a big deal of this too. I needed an amazing amount, a stupendous, a spectacular, amazing, astonishing, fantastic, incredible. Here comes short boxes. Yeah, I get my supplies at my local comic book shop. I make a big deal in this show about that. I love my local comic book shop. Here from the home of our Boston studios here, you know, within striking distance of the fortress of Solitude. I have no lie, 8 different local comic book shops. 3 of them are in a chain called New England Comics. You might have heard of them. They are the inventors of The Tick. Spoon! That's right. And then come the other 5, which are literally independent bookstores. Yeah, and each one has their own staff and their own flavor, their own intent in a way. And all of them are kind of blue, capital B, politically blue, in this blue city and suburbs and this blue state that has kind of a, you know, we've basically voted red governors for the past 30 years, with the exception of 2 administrations. So Massachusetts has been this weird model on how to coexist politically and how both parties can share power and get along. But hey, what does the future hold? We will, you know, get there when we get there, and we will not. This isn't a political show, but it's just like, this is the shape of where I live, and you know what I mean, and what we read and what we're assumed to be by our purchases and our adjacencies. Nah, I don't buy that. But what I do buy are plenty of supplies. So I buy my supplies at my local comic book shop, my LCS. I'm switching from long boxes to short boxes. The older I get, the heavier those long boxes get. So I did something about it, and I did nothing but buy short boxes. And all of last year, there's plenty of photographic evidence. We talked almost every day until August. And then we went to a weekly show. We did a daily show for 564 consecutive episodes. I'm very proud of us. We know that it's really cool. I mean, we show that we can talk about our hobby every day. It's a wonderful thing, taking a few minutes out of our day to take a break together and enjoy our escapism and talk about what we're buying, talk about what we like, talk about what we don't like. But we don't have to get lost in the endless outrage cycle. What we can do is respect it, acknowledge it, and move along with it. So, and let's move along with this show. So I am buying my supplies at my local comic book shop. My short boxes. I'm buying my bags there and my boards. Acid-free boards. Polypropylene bags. And finally, after the whole shortages and supply chains and the this and that and the who's the whatsies, because I waited, because they're expensive too. But I got I got Mylars. All right, they're expensive. What I made the conscious choice is I didn't spend monies on supplies on my online supply chain. No, I think it's more important to agree to the retail markup and to go to the shop yourself and get it there. It helps them stay open, their lights on, their staff paid, and the inventory on the shelves, and you know, and it's part of the American dream. We need to get back out there and into the shops and talking with other people. Like, I had a fabulous conversation with the staff who I've known for years, And she's a Star Wars cosplayer. And she's a young person, like under 30. And I've known her for a couple of years now. She's a huge cosplayer, like 501st level. And she likes Ahsoka and Dr. Aphra. And so she's a young Star Wars fan. So Disney Star Wars is her thing. And I have nothing but respect for her and her beliefs. And, but I have to tread carefully when I engage her in conversation. Like I had literally 15 minutes to spare until this was last week at the local comic book shop. Here I am with my handful of new releases. And I tempted to have a conversation with her deeper than the surface level that we were having previously. This is the first time I've ever engaged Kay. Let's call her Kay. In conversation about Star Wars, like on a deep level, because I am a G1 Star Wars fan. Lightsabers are everywhere. That's Han and Carbonite. And yeah, I was a G1 kid, you know, it's, but like the words she used I said, you know, because I wanted to like let her know that our side of the fandom, we're not as stinky as I'm going to let them think we are, because we don't agree with them, or we have to agree with them to be good fans. So in my digital pirate boxes usually are the copious amounts of Marvel Star Wars titles, and I read them every week. And I've been reading the High Republic stuff, and so far it's my favorite of these Marvel Star Wars books, the new stuff. I want to like them. I really do. Yeah, and it just, I've enjoyed like the Disney Plus adaptation books too. The Mandalorian season 2, that landed pretty flat, but the Obi-Wan book, I've been loving it. I really have. You know, but the High Republic, and because I went to say, like, this is my thought, this is my thesis statement, and I curated this thought, and here I am, I'm going to present it to this awesome young lady who has everyday cosplay about Star Wars, and she, like, makes her own, like, Star Wars inspired clothes, and she's, like, really cool, and she's also a really, like, you know, good level, like, top level cosplayer, and I've seen her at conventions for the past couple of years. And it's great to, you know, like, hey, you work at my comic book shop, you know, then it's really, you know, charming. So we know each other by sight, and we're familiar. And so I said, one thing I've been reading, I asked her, have you read the High Republic Shadows of Starlight yet? And she was like, no, I haven't gotten to it. And I was like, you know what? And we call this the asshole audit. You know, we just like, hey, I'm sorry, but I am a 52-year-old Generation 1 Star Wars fan. I am part of that. And I even phrased this. I'm a grumpy old fan. And I got the, okay, I can, a nod of acceptance and not approval, but you know what? Hey, I can respect that, you know. And I just wanted to preface that because she knows who I am now. And because I've known who she is, you know. But I was like, the Shadows of Starlight was really good. It presents us with, I don't want to spoil it for you, but at the end of it, we have a big bad that is like Star Wars level big bad. Like, you know, he's just ruthless and just, there's something Star Warsy about it. But then I went on to say something negative about the sequels. We'll get to the comic books in just a minute. Don't worry. This is, you know, take your time. Have a cup of coffee. Here, you know, we used to call this the Comics Coffee Table. We would just pull up a chair, grab a cuppa, and then we just shoot the shit about pop culture and our comic books and stuff. And you know what? We are literally talking about local comic book shops, comic book shop culture, comic book shop style conversations, and the kind, you know, you can have. This is why I always say we never see this level of outrage and negativity inside the local comic book shop. There is always, you know, or usually in my direct experience, a veneer of sincerity and of respect that goes a long way. That there's never any kind of these outrage brawls. You know, That is left for the anonymity and the impersonalness of social media, I believe. So here I am talking to Kay in her cosplay. It's literally 20 degrees out, and she dressed up as Princess Leia and Hoth, and from Empire Strikes Back, and I was just like, you look great. This is great. Look at you in the braid. And just look there, she did her hair the same. She's a great Star Wars fan, and I'm very happy that there are young Star Wars fans. But the entirety of Star Wars is their Star Wars. So they don't see the generational separation the way we do, or the way that I do. So it's all part and parcel. So maybe they don't understand because we don't see the breaks in the fabric the way we do, the way it was sewn together in this patchwork. I like to see it through spiritual lens, such as, like as an allegory, nothing direct. But I see hey, Jews and Christians, Jewish people dig the Old Testament. Christians have a New Testament. I maybe old fans and new fans can use that as a model of respect and be like, hey, those are your beliefs, and your belief system stops here. And you don't share my beliefs from this point on. But we do have literally, you can throw Islam in there too. Hello. Seriously. You have a common origin, but you have three different, results. I'm a Lucas fan. You can have expanded universe fans, and you have Disney fans. But we all have the same source. But I said that what I was very happy with what Marvel Star Wars did here with the Nil and the Eye of the Storm and the Shadows of Starlight miniseries, because it returned to that big badness of Star Wars that I found, even so recently in the Old Republic games. And I went on to say this about the Disney sequels, that all of the big bads were goofy. 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 And that was not even that wasn't even a Disney ding or a Disney reference. Just meaning Hux, Kylo Ren, Snoke, Return of the Rise of Skywalker Palpatine, and the Allegiant General Admiral Pride. They were all, and even Phasma too. Yeah, come to think of it, they were all a bit goofy. Goofy meaning they lacked a certain seriousness in it. And she responded with well, they were fascists and mass murderers. And she even said about the President 45, and that guy was goofy, but he was definitely dangerous. Definitely. And then here she is laying her cards on the table politically too, intersecting politics, real world stuff, and Star Wars, which has stronger when it remains mythological and a bit more universal, untied to any frame of history, especially supporting one side of the aisle presentism and modernity, the weaponization of Star Wars. But that's baked into her culture, though. That is part and parcel with the new people. So you had this is the reverse engineered editorial. And I put it at the beginning of the show. Be wary of them, because they do think that way. Seriously, they look at the First Order in the modern fascists thing, like the Punch-a-Nazi thing, or they see conservatives as that. Seriously, I mean, it's just not healthy. It's not appropriate, and I'm not going to agree to that. There's a whole, this is the real world where it's gray. This fictional world of Star Wars, we're allowed to have absolute good and absolute evil because it's fiction. And those Disney bad guys were fucking goofy as all hell. Let's get to this week's comic books. We go to leagueofcomicgeeks.com. We've been looking at the covers lately, but I want to keep my hands a little busy this week because I got some catching up to do. I'm so backed up with comics, like new comics that I need to bag and board and Oh, good. Okay, this is a bag full of bags. No, I've pre-bagged bags, pre-boarded bags. That's good to do when like you need some busy time. So usually I can choose to waste keystrokes on a display, or you can just bag and board and box some comic books like we used to do. Got bunches of these bags. Let's get to them. I have like an unsorted box of new releases that I'll get to sooner or later. I've basically finished my entire collection. It was about 8 long boxes over 20 years. And I will find a new home for last year's bag of shame. And hopefully, we won't have a bag of shame this year. Wouldn't that be nice? Or has it already started? It may have already started. Alrighty, we've like literally got a whole bunch of comic books, recent comic books, to bag, board, and box. So let's get to that, and we'll talk about comic books. Let's see. I'm happy to report that Here Comes Calico number 8, the final double-sized issue for $4.99. It's 48 pages. Is coming out, and it's great. H.H. German of Sigma Comics. I've seen him at conventions over the past years. I know him through Wes's Thinking Critical show and the Comics Aficionados. And it's always a pleasure to see my friend H.H. German. Let's see, what do we got here? We've got Marvel Meow number 1. I bought this for one of my best friend's teenage daughters. She's 14. I've known her all of her life. I'm kind of like an uncle, which is nice. And so I buy her comic books. If I see one I think she'll like. I thought she'd like this because she's an only child with 3 cats. And this is called Marvel Meow. It's full of cats, you know? Be the wine aunt. Be the beer uncle or keg uncle. Can I be a keg uncle instead? I don't know. That sounds cute because, you know, I don't drink much anymore. But yeah, that's for her. I'll send that her way pretty soon. Oh, here's some Action Comics. We've got 1060. We've got 1059, 1060, and the annual. We also, I know if I look through another couple of bags, I'll find 1061. We're going to do that right now. Let's see, what's here? Ooh. Junior Baker number 4. Ludrick number 1. What's this? This is from Cordrath. Okay. I got all these unsorted comic books. Need homes. Like, this isn't a comic book, but I'll put that on my spinner rack. Rare Flavors. You Need a Snug. We're going to sort these, and then we're going to bag them. Ronin. Oh, Sacrificers 5. Leave You Loose. Transformers 3. And getting back to our new releases this week. Yeah, sometimes I start at the end of the list. We have 100 solicited titles this week, so it's a kind of a light week. Anywhere between 90 and 100 new releases in 1 week. That's a light week. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. Oh, here's that Action Comics I was looking for. I got more Green Lantern Men. I got the Wolverine. This is a variant cover. This is cover number. This is one of the variant covers. So this is variant cover number 6. No, number 4. We can tell that by the UPC code and the extra 5 digits. This is 041. That means it's issue 41. That means number 4 means it's the 4th variant cover. This is cover D, as in David, and 1 meaning it's I think that's volume. Oh no, it's printing. So this is a first printing. So you can tell by those last 5 digits on the UPC code right there. 041 meaning issue 41. 4 meaning this is the 4th cover, a variant cover. The cover D as in David, and 1 meaning first printing. Yeah, that's how. There's a code. There's a code. Let's see. Let's get to this. What else? So we have Detective Comics 1081 by Ram V, Ram the 5th. And it's pretty good. Just go into recycling. They're all pretty shot. Or I could try to use them again. I should do that. Take all my old bags. And put them aside and use them one at a time. Until they fall apart, because they will. Cool. All right, let's get to it. Let's sort these bad Larrys. So this is all the comic books I've purchased, basically, in the past few months. All right, how many comic books do you buy? That's a stack of comic books, and these are just accumulated Wednesdays, you know. So, okay, Hulk number 6, plot holes from Massive. I heard a good one about Sean Murphy's Zorro, which has been released before the crowdfunding. I bought Zorro issue number 1 last week off this newsstand. Guess what? The crowdfunders hadn't got theirs first. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that, Sully, being a crowdfunding aficionado? You're wearing the shirt of a crowdfunder, a notoriously stinky crowdfunder who can't get along with his friends. Nah, I got very little patience or stake in that. Seriously. I don't think... It's weird because people like to see that. Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. So this huge online fight, it's just all about airing just grievances, and it's... Ultimately, I think it's bad radio. Unless you like that kind of sports radio where people fight. But yeah, Detective Comics, 40 pages, $4.99. Art by Stefano Raffaelli, who's been ripping it up over on Catwoman. This is the final Ben Abernathy books. And we're bringing in all the Batman heavy hitters. We got 4 variant covers. We got Dr. Hurt, who is Thomas Wayne of 1765. I don't know if that's a year or an Earth. Might be an Earth, 1765. There's Barbatos of the Dark Multiverse, and there's Talia al Ghul. And there's usually a backup in that. There's X-Force number 48. Yeah, I haven't even read these. I just got them to support Sean in a way. sometimes that's just the the shape of it. I mean, nothing more to it than having how are comic books supposed to keep going if we don't buy them? Floppies, cereals. I mean, we'll find you a forever home. We get Green Arrow number 8, which is great because this has been continued from what was supposed to have been a 6-part mini, and it got extended. It's like, hey, you did really well. All 4 issues of Batman, Santa Claus, Silent Night. This was a sleeper hit, my sleeper hit of 2023. Came in right at the end, and it ended up being one of my favorite comics of the year, especially a DC comic. It's in continuity. It's set on Earth Prime Earth Zero. It's holiday. I really liked how DC embraced Christmas this past year. That made me happy. I got some of the holiday cover variants, and I'm going to decorate my spinner rack like a Christmas tree next year with all of these holiday variants. So I'm going to keep my eye open for some of the holiday variants I missed this year, such as the Green Arrow and maybe even Titans. I'm not even a Titans fan, but I like the variant cover because it looks like a holiday card, and they're all wearing the same sweater. I like that kind of stuff. See, I'm a sucker for a variant cover, but yeah, I double up on these things. Double up. Speaking of, here's one of those those holiday variant covers. It's the Santa variant, which is also hawking. It's in the trade dress. Batman, Santa Claus, Silent Night. And this is an homage of Action Comics number 1. This is art by Michael Janin. You can see that right there. And let's look at the last 5 digits. 009. That means it's issue number 9. 6. This is cover number 6. And first printing. You see issue 9? There we go. I really like this year. I got back into liking Superman. And Hulk, too. I mean, I'm buying Hulk comics. That's cool. And I do like variant covers. These are both by Jorge Jimenez. $10.60, $10.61, $10.50. But to properly sort this, you'd have to put Action Comics after $10.61 because that's where the story ends. Here's where the story ends. We've got Immortal Thor number 6, written by Torrin Grunbeck, with beautiful covers by Alex Ross. This is we got Al Ewing is writing this one. Oh, okay, and a writing change. Okay, we've got Cy Spurrier's The Flash number 5, Legacy number 805, with great art by Mike Deodato Jr. We got 5 variant covers. It's just all this digital stuff is heaped upon all this great line work. Just, it's not my cup of tea. And I'm buying other things. We've got GODS Gods number 4 by Jonathan Hickman, $4.99, 28 pages. So we know that's 21 pages of sequential art and story. And it's just 4 variant covers. It was supposed to be like some big ballyhoo of, like Jonathan Hickman's rewriting the history of the DC of the Marvel Magic Universe or something, or it's really just chatty, and There's Spawn $3.49 for $2.99. I wonder if next month is going to be a little pricier at issue $3.50. We got Harley Quinn number 36. That's $4.99, and I think that has a backup though. That's 40 pages, and yeah, it has a backup feature. And this is Teeny Howard with art by Sweeney Boo, and I've been kind of liking this, and it's just silly Harley madness running through the multiverse with scissors in her hand. You know, it's not bad. I don't know. Just it's not completely terrible. I know I'm revoking my bro card, my dude card, by saying that, huh? Dude, don't say that, bro. You'll get kicked out of the club. Yeah, you go scratch your balls with your car keys 3 times to atone. Ooh, Hulk number 7. I got 2 copies. See, variant cover. Hey, look. Video game ad. That sounds right, you know. But yeah, I already had a copy of this. I love this magazine. But guess what? Yul Carter at Fantastic Comics, he had a copy of this. And he sold it to me. Yes, I made a purchase, and he shipped it across the country from Berkeley, California to Boston, Massachusetts, traversing the entire continent. This is an intercontinental masterpiece. But I'm loving The Incredible Hulk. It's a fun magazine, and I keep coming back for more. Yay! I also have another Peach Momoko variant. And I liked this issue, too. So I didn't buy it just strictly for the cover. Let's see, that's a Peach Momoko, Doctor Strange, number 10. I'm going to put them in the same one, and I'm going to put this on my spinner rack. Which is nice, because I have Hulk from the 80s. Just a couple. I wasn't big into Hulk or Doctor Strange. But I am big into, like, the summer fall of 1981 and those comics, and collecting that run, you know, just to have those months. Yeah, these are Peach Momoko variant covers. $3.99, not even the dollar more. So which variant cover would this be? This is cover number 2. And this, and you are also cover number 2. Got it. But Harley Quinn doesn't suck. Yeah, I mean, there's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 147 for $3.99, coming to the end of an era. The current writer is leaving, and the current writer, her name's Sophie Campbell. She's been doing this for a couple of years. She introduced the sister turtle Janica into the foursome, which is now a 5-some. She's pretty much written a huge chunk of this IDW continuity, not to be confused with the Mirage continuity. Yeah, and just a board in a bag. See, I should have been using boards the entire time, and it helps the spines. All my old comic books have spine roll, and the corners could be a bit more pristine. If only I had been using boards the entire time, I could have avoided that. And I already threw this into a bag. But yeah, this is Green Lantern number 6. I bought a couple of copies of it. I might buy more if I see it around too. I feel this could be a key issue. What's a key issue? A key issue is a first appearance, a death of, a big to-do, like it's a big issue. Key, and key issue. And this, I believe, is Razor's first appearance in the DC universe. Razor is from the Green Lantern, the animated series universe, who made it to the Young Justice animated series universe. And I believe that this is the first canonical appearance of Razor in a DC book. So I'm not usually playing the speculation game. That's not how, I'm not that kind of collector. But now I've got 2 of these green of the holiday variants. So like I was saying about decorating my tree, my spinner rack. And Green Lantern number 7 as well. What goes well with Superman number 9? Superman number 8, of course. Yeah, I've been buying Superman. I've been buying Action Comics. I've been kind of buying Batman here and there. I've been getting Batman more for the Jorge Jimenez art than the Chip Zdarsky story. So it's like John Romita Jr. and Scott Hahn are uplifting Zeb Wells' Amazing Spider-Man story, in my humble opinion. Same with Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez. Jimenez he's a treat. It's one of the best we got going these days. Batman Brave and the Bold, $7.99. This is what, an 80-pager? 64-pager. It has Bruno Redondo doing art and writing and doing art on his own story. Good for him. It's an anthology. Usually contains 4 stories. And there's a Tom King story in here, too. With Miss Q Gerards. Yeah, he got me blocked on Twitter, too. Why? I never had. I see. How am I supposed to buy your shit? No. So go fuck yourself. Seriously. Beast World number 5. The Resurrection of Magneto number 1. Whatever this is. I mean, it's Al Ewing. Now we have the Fall of the House of X trade dress. We've gone from Fall of X to Fall of the House of X. And is Fall of the Powers of 10 its own imprint too? It could be, for all I know. And this is just another, probably going to be 5 issues, maybe 4 issues, a mini, and it's written for the trade. But Magneto hasn't been dead for a while, or did he die, or again? And these are the Krakoan resurrection protocols. Or could it be as hinted in like previous issues of X-Men recently by Jerry Duggan? Specifically, what did I think? X-Men number 30? Or was it Invincible Iron Man? Where Lorna Dane, a.k.a. Polaris, a.k.a. the daughter of Magneto, inheritrix of his magnetic powers, former lover and wife of Alex Summers. She leaves her X-Men uniform behind, and then we see her later in the book wearing a green version of her father's helmet and outfit. Is she Magneto? I've always liked Polaris as a character. I would like to see that get fleshed out. Legitimately the best Tom King series I've ever read. You got to give it to him. I will give respect where respect is due. This is the Penguin, number 6. How long is this going to be? 9 issues. Solicited, at least here. And it's about the Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot. And it begins in medias res, where he's in a sinking bat plane with Batman. And they both appear to be mortally wounded and about to drown. And then it goes into story mode. But it's about, I think the Penguin lost his power and his turf and his club, maybe his children too. And this is about him cobbling together, no pun, a new crew to take back his slice of Gotham, if not Gotham in total. And it works with Tom King's storytelling, because Tom King uses like this, he's got this affinity for a 9-panel grid, where it's Bendis-like, where it pushes story, because you got a lot of, just character moments and story-driven stuff, dialogue-driven story, but it works here. I call them like like Quentin Tarantino moments. And like in Quentin Tarantino's movies, he always has those dialogue moments. But it works very well here, specifically in Penguin, because this is very much, in my humble opinion, a lot like a Tarantino movie. And we're going to see Penguin destroy these characters that get involved with Penguin on his way back up. And that's what Tom King does best. We've got Power Girl number 5 by Leah Williams. It hasn't been all that bad. And this is about Streaky the cat. So will I be buying another comic book for my niece? I might. I bought her that Supergirl special that had Power Girl in it. I think she liked it. There's Ghost Machine number 1 for $4.99, which reprints a part of Geiger number 1. And here, Zorro, Man of the Dead, issue number 1 by Sean Gordon Murphy on Massive Publications. This is Whatnot. Who is Massive? Is a print. Is there, are they independent? They're Whatnot. And what is Whatnot? Well, let's look it up again. What is Whatnot? What is Whatnot? Whatnot is a social marketplace where you can discover some of your favorite products, like sports cards, sneakers, luxury handbags, and women's thrift, Pokemon cards, and even more through live auctions. Download the app or shop on the web. And what is Whatnot Comics? And buy, sell, go live. Whatnot is it's I guess you could buy comic books there, and it's also a platform such as Indiegogo or what's the other one? I forget the other. Oh gosh, pay to print, or what is it? I have no idea. Right? It'll come back to me at like 4 a.m. But this was on shelves before the backers got theirs. Maybe it's because the backers get the complete story. I don't know. I just think it's interesting. Yeah. Here's Bloodrick 2. And here's Bloodrick 1. These were fun. Amazon's Attack number 4. Titans Beast World Tour Star City. So this is going to be all about Oliver Queen and the Arrow family. Black Canary, Green Arrow 2, Connor Hawk, and Red Arrow, and Arsenal, and the Arsenal's daughter. Here we go. This was fun. I'll keep getting this if it keeps publishing. Exactly. Ooh, here we go. Sacrificers 5 and 6. I hope it does not have a huge sabbatical break such a like Saga did, because that will kill its momentum and people will forget about this. I mean, don't treat comics like TV shows in seasons. Just keep going. Look at The Walking Dead. Robert Kirkman. He didn't miss a month for like almost 2 decades. 193? Was that it? Jeez. Never missed a month. Transformers. This has been fun. So much so that I got Duke and Cobra Commander. Thinking about maybe should I put Duke with Cobra Commander 1 and then file them with the Transformers stuff. But look, I mean, jeez. That's a ding. Look at that corner. And this is off the shelf. I mean, this is barely 2 weeks old. And it's just like, there's just no way in hell you're going to get a 9.2 unless you get some kind of like poll. Maybe even, do you give greater instructions to them? Do you like, you got, will they like bag and board them for extra? That would be nice if that's what you're after. Transformers. Good stuff so far. Yeah, not a lot of new comic book this week. We got Daredevil Black Armor #3. That's not for me. There's Star Wars Thrawn Alliances #1 for $5.99, 40 pages. It's written by Timothy Zahn himself. Return to the saga of Thrawn with the comic book adaptation of Thrawn Alliances. It's must be a book, and it's got 4 variant covers, and the Force is female. That's all you have to know. I don't care anymore, really. There's Dark Horse Comics, Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures. So Dark Horse is making like 1 or 2 Star Wars books, in addition to what the 9 or 10 monthly that Marvel is putting out on any given month. So there are always about 12 Star Wars periodicals every month on average, an unofficial average. Just like, but yeah, that's a lot. But it's also, hey, we need to treat the spinner rack like it was the newsstand rack. So you have your sports magazines here for men. You have the car magazines there for men. You have the beauty and fashion magazines for women. All made by the same magazine producers in the same publishing houses on the same stock of paper, using the same distributors. These are just magazines. These are periodical publications. So why are there 12 different Star Wars books? You want to get as many Star Wars fans buying the product as you can. So is it, really diluting the product? Is it, I think it's just more of the more and more, the older I get, it's just these things are not made for me. That's it. Nothing too much. You lose sleep over. Ultimate Spider-Man #1. Should have been in a bag and a board from the first second you even looked at her, you bad geek. You fake nerd. Fake geek guy. Where does that come from? Sully, where do these voices come from? I don't know. Here we go. So yeah, like I told you, now I have 2 of these. 6 and 7. I think Green Lantern's going to really take off now, as we've had the introductory opening arc by Jeremy Adams, and now it feels like he's getting into the meat of the matter. We've had our first couple of dates, and now you're going to be introduced to my playroom. That's right. Ooh, that's where you keep your Xbox? Yeah. I'm going to skip Madam Web. I'm not going to even say anything about it, because that's just punching down, All non-compliant voices are all punching down. And they're bad people. I don't believe that. Is there anything? It's going to be a light week this week at the local comic book shop. What's out? What else is out there? We're going good. We have Power Pack, Into the Storm #1. This is by June Brigham. Also Weezy Simonson too. Yeah, Weezy Simonson is writing this, and she invented Power Pack. I love Power Pack. I was there for that. And the Power family. You got Katie, Julie, Jack, and Alex, and And Franklin Richards sometimes too, but now Franklin Richards is older in the real Fantastic Four, and now he's got black hair. He's not blonde anymore. See, I know, just sometimes I just like, I don't know what to think about this stuff, and I just like what you like, buy what you buy, support what you support, and keep spending your money at the local comic book shop if you could be so kind. They would really appreciate your business. Junior Baker, the Righteous Faker, number 5. Yes, please, sign me up. Here's number 4. Awaiting its sleeve. Where number 5 can join it this week. Later tonight. After I read it, of course. We can go right here. 4 and 5. Yeah. I won't tape that yet. But yeah, ain't that funny? Or is that fair? I think it's unfair. And I'm kind of glad I didn't back it. Because I knew, once I saw plot holes on the stands, massive. Yeah. I knew that, eventually, in the press kit too, they were like really courting LCSs as well. Will I get more of this? I might. I mean, I usually do. I'm a big fan of Sean. This ended up being big disappointment. Didn't know what I was getting myself into. This might start... See, like this... Not for the Bag of Shame, because the Bag of Shame is its own thing. It's for the worst comic of the year. So that's not worthy of Bag of Shame. But it's going into the 2024... bag of... Huh? The bag of... Oh, but you didn't like this one, did you? Rare Flavors, number 3. 4 is coming out soon. I think it's a 4-issue limited too, so keep that open for when the series completes. What else is out today? Van Helsing, Vampire Hunter. Archie Jumbo comics, which we never see. Oh, boy, I should have told my comic book shop to solicit Here Comes Calico. But also the Tankobon variant will be out too, now that it's complete. Yay. And that are the new releases for this week. Got 7 and 8 of Local Man, one of the best comic books you might be sleeping on, with its flip cover. It's a now and then story of a washed up superhero who had to go home and live in his parents' basement, and then all the hijinks that follow him. And that's been going on in his hometown as a result of all the superpowers. And this is supposed to fit in with like retcon fit with Image superhero comics from like 30 years ago, which this is really fun. I really appreciate this. Has been Local Man's been like one of my favorite comics all of last year. Here we go. So where's that Batman? Give me that Batman. Where'd you go? Here we go. We got Batman 140 and 141, where we see the transition of losing the Dawn of DC trade dress. We are no longer in the Dawn of DC. How does that make you feel? What did you think of Dawn of DC? Let me know in the comment section and everything. Like, was the Dawn of DC a success? Did it do what it intended to do? Or was it kind of quashed? Its momentum quashed by the event cycles, specifically Night Terrors, Gotham War, and Beast World. three events in a year. There was just supposed to have been, this was supposed to have been the dawn of DC, the revelation of all the heroes in a more kind of quintessential, iconic form. We've got the completion of Count Dante on Scout Comics. I really like this, and I like being able to buy something from an indie press. Now, when it comes, so the story in this kind of, and my need to want to complete it, overrode my distaste of all this digital art. That why bother printing this in the first place? And since you bothered printing it in the first place with this, why the serialized format? I think it's about perpetuating the illusion of a market share in the periodical publication industry. And then look what happened to Sports Illustrated. Look what happened to National Geographic. Both of those are still viable and active news sources in a way, or magazine sources, but just their print publication is drastically changing. And so are the needs of consumers everywhere. That's right. Frank Miller's Ronin, Book 2, number 5. Number 6 will complete this. So we'll leave that open. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's going to be a light week this week. It would be a good week to buy some supplies. You only got, 1 or 2 or 3 new comics in your hand? You can't even use your credit card. Or your debit card because of the shopping minimum. What else? Why don't you pick up some Snugs? Don't you need some Snugs? Get some Snugs. And make sure that they're the right size. You need backing boards. You probably do. I know I do. I'm going to need some sooner than later. So I'm going to put that on the list. If you can, if they have Mylars, pick up some Mylars. This was $40 for 50. But Mylars are the archival quality that you're looking for. Mylars are for for my real top end ones. So, polypropylene will do for more common ones. But thank you so very much for spending some time here on New Comic Book Day. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Hump this day, lest it might hump you without your consent. Tune in and subscribe if you like this kind of content. We talk about comic books, pop culture. We talk about spirituality and cooking a lot too. Tactical and practical spirituality. I'm telling you, it's it'll help. Helping save your soul will save your body and your mind. It really will, and it's a missing piece in the whole thing. And so I like to make gratitude lists in the morning, so tune in for those. And also, they're available in podcast version. This show should be available in podcast version as well, so I hope you enjoy. Let me know in the comments section if you do. And I hope you tune in and stay for a while and subscribe. Turn on those notifications. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you again in those funny pages. Check us out on Sunday, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, with our weekly live stream where we just talk about comic books and the new releases of the week that I read. Cheers. Bye-bye.